What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, obviously, we're going to be working on this 5.3. Now, we took a different turn or route with it as I started taking it apart, and I didn't like what I seen. So I talked to the customer, and we're basically going to go ahead and do a full rebuild on it from the bottom up, and I'll tell you why. So stay tuned. Alright, so sorry if you hear the wind. I have my fan on, and that's what you're hearing. It's a little warm out today, so I decided to go ahead and turn it on. So anyhow, let's get into details with this bottom end. Originally, the guy I bought it, he said, or they told him, it had 120K. Usually, well, that's what everybody really tells you when you're buying a 5.3 4860. Typically, if they tell you it's 120K, most likely they're probably lying. Now, I did take this apart, or the heads off and all that, which they're sitting right over there. Now, I started turning more deep into it, and this motor is actually pretty nasty, and I doubt it had 120K, or it might have, but there's another situation where they hardly ever did an oil change, and you know what that happens when they don't do the service on the motors. You get sludge, you get all nasty, and yeah, so took the cover off. It looked pretty nasty. I actually had trouble pulling the lifters out on all the lifters on both sides. They were getting stuck, and usually these you could pull out by hands or just with some pliers, grab them and pull them out. But this motor was so bad, or the oil corrosion and buildup, that they were popping out and staying stuck. I ended up using some vice grips to pull all of them out. I had to literally move it back and forth, spray some oil in there to lube up the holes, and once oil started going in there, I was able to free them up slowly. But yeah, I got those out. Anyhow, we were going to do new lifters anyways, but to further inspection, I really don't like how it has all this nasty crud on here. And I talked to the customer, and we're going to end up doing a full rebuild. Plus, I am going to go with flat top pistons. As you can tell, this is a dish style. This is 5.3, comes with the dish pistons. I'm going to put a set of 4.8 or flat top pistons, whichever you want to call it, and yeah, try to raise the compression. Plus, I am going to mill the heads. I'm going to go 30 thousandths on the heads, cam, of course, and ported heads. Should make pretty good power. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start taking it apart. I did drain the oil the other day. Another thing that I noticed was the oil plug was stripped, and whoever did it put a dab of silicone all around it and just shoved it back in there, and they called it a day. But anyhow, I already told the customer about that as well, and we're going to go ahead and probably either retap the threads or the hole for the plug, drain plug, and hopefully that works out. If not, we have a spare pan that we could throw on there. But I have to take it all apart because I am going to be taking the block to the machine shop. I ordered the flat tops with new rings, and I'm doing the clavette rod and main bearings on this. So I think it was a better route to go and do that, because the way this looks, I wasn't really too happy of just slapping it all together, throwing a cam in it, and calling it a day. I don't like to do that. Plus, this customer, he understands, and you know, he knows it's going to cost more money than what he expected. But at the end of the day, he'll have technically a brand new bottom end and basically a whole new motor from the bottom up. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start taking this apart. But first, I'm going to go ahead and show you the heads that I'm throwing on here, which I already put on a different video, but I'm just updating you on those. Alright, so here are the heads. Like I mentioned in a previous video, these heads are 243s, and I picked these up for the customer at a salvage yard, which I always go and buy my stuff there. They always have it. And this is another 243 head, obviously. And this is stock, and I want to show you the difference in what I've done by porting it and the stock head. And as you can tell, there's quite a bit of material that has came off the heads. So it's probably going to be a little dark here, but as you can see there in the chamber, try to get a better angle of this. It's not cooperating here with me. But anyhow, let me go grab a flashlight and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Alright, so I got my flashlight in here. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on and show you what I do to the heads. So it's a little bright, but anyhow, obviously you can see how rough all this is. Everything in here, this bump right here, this is the boss for the rocker arms. I completely knocked this out, and the swirl ramp down here, this right here, I shave it down and I start shaping the valve stem boss all the way down. Rough cut the whole surface in here all the way around once I take this down on this side, and even come around on the far side down there where the flashlight is, and just smooth everything out. So just to give you an idea, take out this bump, smooth everything out, take this out or bring it down to make it go down like this side. And I'll show you the head that I've been working on. It's just a rough cut. I'm still not done with it, and yeah. Alright, so just I can do the same thing with the flashlight here. Alright, so obviously this is where the bump was of the boss, and it looks dirty here because we still have all this material and all this stuff in here, so that's why it looks like that. But anyhow, let me I don't know if you can see in there, it opens up the intake runners a lot. There's the next one. There's a better view of it. So the bump, try that again. So the bump was up in this corner. You can tell it's gone. I don't know if you can see the boss down there where I shaped it and took it down quite a bit. Like I said, this is a rough cut. I still have to go in there, clean up and smooth everything out. That's not the finished product. can tell this floor ramp that was on this side is gone. Same as this one. Same as that one. Like I said, this is just a rough cut. So this is a stock one, untouched. That's how they come from factory. You can see that bump right there, especially on this side right here. That's what I shaved down, shaved the boss. You can tell on that one. Same thing, I do the same thing with the exhaust, but yeah, you get the idea. And what I use is this little thing with the regulator to obviously reduce the pressure, because this thing is pretty powerful. And I bought this at Harbor Freight. The bits, I buy them from Summit Racing, and I have several type of bits to do the cutting. Just trying to get this thing to focus. There you go. So basically this is what does all the cutting. You can tell the material. And this is just some of it. I mean, I had quite a bit material laying up here that I already cleaned up. But yeah, man. I also smooth these out, the chamber, knock this down a little bit, and clean it all off. And once I do all that, obviously I take them down to the machine shop where I'm taking the block, and I'm gonna have them milled 30 thousandths, valve job, and have him install the springs since the head's just gonna be there. So yeah, that's what I'm doing with these and how far I have gone with these. This one's almost done with a rough cut, and then I'm gonna start on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and start disassembling the rest of the motor. I'm not gonna record none of it, as we have other videos up here of us taking the motor apart. I'll probably just show you if I see anything unusual, or once I take the pan off and pistons out and crank and all that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera down and get all that done. Alright, so I took the pan out, and this thing's pretty nasty. Obviously they did not change the oil often, and so it causes all this stuff on here, all this nastiness. That's a lot of stuff in there. So yeah, I don't think this, I mean, yeah, the motor could have had 120K, but obviously it was not taken care of. And yeah, all this stuff right here is the result of not doing your oil change often or as needed or when needed. Tell cam bearing pretty nasty, so I'm glad we're gonna go ahead and tear it all apart and actually freshen it all up. That way, you know, there won't be no worries about anything as far as, you know, later on, well, we should have done the bottom end, and we're actually going to go ahead and take care of it now. So I'm glad we're going this route with it. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take the tray off, the pickup tube, and show you how the crank and rods and all that look. I'm hoping, I believe this motor, he said it was a 03. I'm not sure if it has the third gen rods. I hope it does, so we're gonna find out. Alright, so tray's off, and guess what? It does have the 3rd gen rods, which is a plus. These are a little bit stronger than the I believe they came out in 99 till 2002 or 3, but I'm glad these are the 3rd gen rods, so that's a plus, like I said. And yeah, I don't know what this is right here. Oh, more sludge. Yeah, so like I said, I'm glad we went this route, that we're going to go ahead and rebuild it completely from the bottom up for the customer. And yeah, man, I think he's going to be happy with the build, as we're hopefully make some good power and go from there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish taking it all apart, or at least the caps, and see how the mains and rod bearings look. I'll go ahead and pull out the pistons out anyways, because I gotta take the block to the machine shop. So I'm gonna do that next. I'm not gonna film that, like I said. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it and then show you after I have taken it apart. Alright, so I flipped the block around. I numbered 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to keep the rods in the same position and cylinder they come out of. Once the new pistons come in, swap them over and keep them in the same position they were in, and go back together much smoother. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and start taking those pistons out. Alright guys, so today's the next day, the next morning, and I want to just clarify certain things. I've been saying these are Gen 3. My apologies, Gen 4 rods, which these are the better design than Gen 3. Yeah, those are I believe they came out in 05 and up, so I'm assuming this engine is 05. I may be wrong, not sure, but those are Gen 4, not Gen 3. Anyhow, I ended up taking off the caps, and like I said, I don't think this motor was really much taken care of or serviced on time, as it seems like, you know, there's a lot of crud and stuff on it, but all the main caps and bearings look good, nothing crazy. I'm just gonna take the crank in to get it cleaned up, as well with the block, and go from there. And also on the rod bearings, they all look pretty good. Nothing crazy to be worried about. But yeah, it's almost completely, literally taken apart. I just need to obviously pull the flex plate off and the back cover. Once that's off, I could take this last main cap off and pull the crank out. But I'll do that later today. I won't film that. I'll just probably go ahead and end off the video here, as I don't think there's no need to add anything else to this. But like I said, this thing's pretty dirty. Whoever had it, so you can see all that buildup. That's real nasty. And I mean, don't get me wrong, you will get some buildup either way when you do your regular oil change and whatnot, but this is obviously from not really maintaining this and doing the regular oil changes. You see here in the cam bearing, old oil even staining them bad. But yeah, like I said, that's all I'm gonna do for this video. I just wanted to do a little update on this customer's 5.3, and like I said, I'm happy that we decided to do a full rebuild, because after seeing all this stuff and how nasty this is, and putting in a new cam, pump, obviously the heads, and you know, this is more like better be safe than sorry, and not cutting corners, and just because, you know, you were told this block had X amount of miles, really that kind of don't really mean anything until you actually tear it apart and find out what really, you know, what you really see is. You could obviously tell the life this motor had, or engine. And yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead, like I said, end it off there. For this, the other thing I do still have going on is the LT1. This is the other LT1 that's going in the Impala, and I'm not gonna film none of it. They dropped off this motor the other day and picked up the old one. As you can tell, this is a very clean motor, and just like I said on this one, he was told it had 20K from an older man up in Cali, and that he got rear-ended and got paid for the car, kept the car, parted it out, kept the transmission and the engine, and this guy went and bought it. Like I said, he was told it had 20K on it. So who knows? It might not. But to be honest, the outside of it looks pretty clean. I don't know if it's been washed before or not, but yeah. So alright, man. Well, appreciate you guys watching the video, and like and subscribe. See you till next time.